A very good morning, afternoon, and evening to all of you who have joined us today. I'm Rashika, one of the co-founders at ProApp, and it's my pleasure to join with you guys every Saturday. Today's workshop is around understanding the global UX challenges, and we have Hazem with us to help us learn more about it. Hazem is a UX engineer, design, and a mentor. I think that's all we are looking for. And he has mentored many students on platforms like ADPLA, Springboard, Mentoring Club. He's also a global verified UI UX designer on Google and UI UX specialist at Gestech. Great, awesome. An official UI UX service provider on LinkedIn. Oh my God, Azam, that's a lot on your portfolio. I think that's something students are really inspired from you. Welcome to the workshop today, first of all.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Rashka, for introducing me. Thank you, everybody, also for joining us today in this great event. Actually, I'm really glad that you are taking care and knowing more and more so many fields and streams in our own career itself, which is one of the best and astonishing careers in all over the world, which is UX UI design. First of all, thank you so much for attending this event. Thank you so much for coming exactly in time and for respecting our own invite. And this is an added value, and I really respect people who are respecting the time, by the way, Rashida. Um, okay, so shall we start right now? Everyone is ready? Okay, this is great. Okay, this is awesome. We are going to start directly with the first step that we are always seeking for. What is the UX itself? Uh, what is the UI? What UX stands for? We are totally confused. This is the first thing that happens to anyone who is trying to get into the field. So today we are going to give you a clear roadmap that you could use to get into the field itself, depending on what? Depending on the most important thing that we are facing nowadays, which is global challenges or even local challenges and problems that we are facing. Each idea comes out from a problem or a challenge or some obstacle that we have faced in our life. And definitely, this idea becomes some clear brief. This brief becomes some steps of process. This process becomes some MVP. This MVP becomes a real product that anyone in the world could use, either as physical or software product. So this is what are we going to be explaining and focusing on today, the global challenges. One of the most important things that I'm always advising people to follow is to use the surrounding environment in gaining and getting ideas to start with. Um, the first step we need to do is to start looking for the local challenges, the global challenges that we are facing, and try to use them with the workflow that I'm going to be discussing with you right now to reach the best results and to come up with some out-of-the-box ideas. Instead of redesigning existing apps or products, it's more preferable to come up with totally new ideas via this technique. I'm going to share you the screen right now. Okay, here we go. So, as we have said, the first thing that we need to do is to collect some global or local challenges surrounding us and start doing this workflow and using it to be as perfect as we could in our own UX process. This is one of the most effective workflows I've been using for the last 1 year. And I've been also training and mentoring people to use this workflow. We have 7 stages over here. Each stage has different process, different perspectives, different outcomes at the same time. So what we need to do right now is to start directly with the first module and the first stage of the UX stages. After we have collected these problems, these challenges, we head directly to the ideation and brainstorming. Go deeper and deeper in each single element of this challenge or this problem or this case in order to make sure that we are just collecting the most number or the maximum value of this idea of this challenge, the most effective solutions that we could really come up with depending on this challenge or this case that we are facing right now. Then, after doing this stage, we move directly to get deeper and deeper in the idea that we have selected. So the ideation and brainstorming is really important because it gives us the ability to decide which way are we going to take. We have so many ideas, we have so many challenges, problems to change. We have to do the ideation and brainstorming at the beginning, which is going to give us the ability to move and to get specialized in one of these challenges or problems to solve via our workflow, which are we going to be using right now. Okay, after this, we are going to head directly to the UX research stage. Okay, I'm just going to ask you some questions. Why do you consider that UX research is really important in solving some problem or some challenge? Drop your answers in our own chat over here. Okay, the question is, why do you think UX research is really important in solving problems, discussing ideas, maybe going deeper and deeper in some topic? Mm-hmm. Thank you, Venkatesh, Michelle. Okay, Jericho, Karen. We have so many answers over here. Okay, great answers. Okay, 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 everybody. This is great. Great answers. Thank you so much for sharing. Uh, you have simply okay, you have simply given the great answers over here. So uh, we are heading directly after choosing some idea to discuss or to go deeper and deeper because UX research, as it calls, is a research. In this stage, we go deeper in each single point of discussion that we have listed in the ideation and brainstorming stage, which means that we are going to get closer to people, to environments, to users, even to the stakeholders, to the global users or even the local users. We are getting to closer to product features. We are going to get closer to which is the state of the product itself or is going to be, for example, physical, maybe software product. Okay, handling or those, as we say, points of viewpoints of discussion and going deeper and deeper. It handles all the next stages. It helps us to build the structure for the next stages, which means that the UX research stage is the mother stage of the other UX and UI stages simply. Okay, the first thing that we always need to decide directly after doing the ideation and brainstorming. As we know, the UX is not just about apps and websites. UX is also about physical products. So, the most common thing between us and the physical uh, product cycle uh, is the UX research, the analysis, um, and the most important one, and the most common one between us and the physical product design, or physical product cycle, is the UX research itself. We could see that as same as each other by 90 to 100%. You know, can you imagine that they are as same as each other by 90 to 100%? Okay, heading directly, choosing the software product or physical product that you are working on. UX research is going to be handling uh, the uh, the same process for the boss for the both of them. Then we go to the first thing that we need to know is the first type of the UX research is the quantitative one, and the second is the qualitative one. So we always decide which one to use depending on our own current stage. So, for example, we are working on some a product that needs to focus on people behaviors, know why they are using this, what are they facing, how do they feel. It's related to the behavioral, as we say, side. So in this case, we head directly to the qualitative research. If we need some statistics, some analytics, some numbers, percentages that are related to the product or the app that we are working on, we head directly to the quantitative research. Either we have chosen this or this, we are going to be following the, the next steps. The first step is that we need to do is to create a background about our own UX research case study. The background handling, the problem statement, the possible solutions, a brief about your own idea, the targeted users at the same time, the possible features that you are going to use in your own app. After doing this background, we head directly to be talking about the one of the most important things or sides that we always need to do, and it's the stakeholders. We could also attach the stakeholders' objectives in the UX research case study, which is going to help us understand their needs, their aims, their goals of creating such product, either it's physical or software product. After finishing the first two stages, we are going to be focusing on which tools are we going to use and techniques are going to use to do the UX research. For example, we have interviews, we have forums, questionnaires. The interviews have so many types of interviews, the directed ones, the non-directed ones, the ethnographic interviews. All these ones are going to help us to get closer to our UX research process with real results compared with real users and real percentages and real behaviors at the same time, as we have mentioned before. We have successfully now completed the first three stages of the UX research case study, which we have started depending on our own challenge that we have chosen before the ideation and brainstorming stage. Did you see? Everything is related to each other, starting from this small and tiny idea or problem that we have mentioned globally or locally, moving to the ideation and brainstorming, reaching to the UX research and its contents. Right now, we need to do public study about the app and the whole process that we have done. The public study about the app is attached at the end of the UX research case study. In this stage, we are going to be focusing on so many sites. The first one is to do a public study about the app itself. Okay, public study about the app itself. This is the first one of the research scope, as we say. The research scope is containing these ones. The first one is public study about the app. And in this stage, we are going to be talking on the most important possible features that we are imagining and the people have been talking about that could possibly be in our own product, either as an app, website, or physical product. Then we head directly to mention the competitors in a glance to make sure that we are focusing uh, on their own weaknesses, focusing on our own added value comparing to them. After completing those first two stages, we could head to one of the most important things that we always do is to create a PDLC, product development life cycle, with the possible features that we are imagining to improve and enhance the problem solvement and the coming stages of our own product cycle. Then we could add the user needs as a final thing with the four questions. You know, what are the four questions that we are always answering or uh, giving for through the users and our own interviews? We have four questions. Do you know what are the four questions? Leave your answers in the chat. Okay, once again, the question is, what are the four questions that we always take in consideration in our own interviews or asking people in the UX research case study or process? Okay, still waiting for you. Okay, I'm going to give you a hint. Yes, yes, exactly, yes, definitely. What, who, why, and how. Okay, okay, Bina, you have mentioned three ones of them. Okay, okay. The four questions that we always answering on the X research case study or giving to people in our interviews is are as the following: who, what, why, and how. Who are the people we are focusing on? What they really need, and why do they really need it, and finally, how do they really need it? For example, who are the target people I'm focusing on? What are their needs? What do they really need? Either features or products. Why did they need this feature or this product or this app or this website in their lives? And how do they need it? They need it as a web app, they need it as a physical product, they need it as a website, they need it as a native app for Android or iOS. They need it, for example, some physical activity for this problem. It could be solved also. Therapy solution, for example. These are the four questions, the four questions that we always answer and try to focus on the researcher scope and the final part of our own UX research. In this stage, we are going to be finishing our own UX research process. We're going to directly to the UX analysis. And this is the third stage. We are going to use all the informations that we have gotten from the UX research and try to go deeper and deeper in one of the two sides that we have been talking about in the UX research. So, as we have mentioned in the UX research, we have two group of people we have been talking about. what is the first group of people and what is the second? Okay, could you put your own answers over here? Yes, the focus group with normal people. Then what is the other type of people that we have been talking about? The normal users, and the second one is, okay, tuck, 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 tuck. I'm going to put you a timer. 1, 2. Yes, this is great. Okay, Kara. Right now we have two groups of people to talk about. The first one is the normal and the end users, and the second one is the stakeholders. Okay, uh, in the UX analysis, we are going to be focusing on the stakeholders and go deeper and deeper to study everything about them. Then in the UP and US stage, we are going to move to the normal and end users to be talking about them, to get deeper and deeper in their own section, which is specialized to study their own behavioral side, their problems, needs, goals, and so on. So the third stage is related to the UX research directly. We are going to be talking about the UX analysis. In this stage, we are going to be talking about the stakeholders. In this stage, we have to divide our own UX analysis to so many types. The first type is the competitive or value analysis. And this is the direct thing that comes directly after doing the UX research case study. The second type of the UX analysis is heuristic analysis. And this type is being delayed until we finish the whole app design process. Okay, so we have two types of the UX analysis that needed to be done after the UX research. The first one is the direct one that we're going to do it directly after the UX research. Case study is the competitive or value analysis, which is going to be focusing on stakeholders and going deeper and deeper in studying them and their environments. Then we have some delayed one, which calls the UX heuristic analysis. And this type is going to be done after we finish the whole process of the app or the product design, which means it comes after even creating the prototype, or at least after offering the first design, the first UI design, the first version. We could do the heuristic analysis directly after getting the UI first version or maybe the prototype. Okay, right now, as we said and as we've mentioned, the stakeholders are our main core for this type of UX analysis, which calls value analysis. How many type of competitors do we have? Stakeholders are considered as competitors. Do you know how many competitors do we have? Type of competitors do we have? Okay, two types. Great. Okay, great, great, awesome. Okay, as you've mentioned in your own answers in the chat, we have two types of competitors, direct and indirect. Okay, uh, the direct ones are the people or the stakeholders that are having the same thing as our own app, uh, facilitating the same features, introducing the same value, but with some little differences. For example, they are as same as our own ID and app between 70% to 90%. 70% to 90%. which means that we have so many things in common, but we have one or two things as an added value, as a difference between each other. Okay. The second type of competitors is the indirect competitor. And this type of competitors is the apps or the products who are having some of our own features, one or two of our own features. Uh, they are facilitating um, our features in some different way, but a little bit far away about the field that we are focusing on. So there's some tiny gap between us, which means the difference of the percentage between uh, us and those this type of the competitors is between 30 to 40%. We are as same as each other between 30 to 40%. So these are the main two types of competitors that we need to be focusing on studying. Uh, right now, we are going to move to the, as we say, the process that we are going to follow in the UX analysis. What are the parts that we are going to be focusing on? The first thing that we need to do is to be focusing on the general environment of those competitors, which means that we need to go deeper and deeper in their own background, their own environment that they have created, their own added values, their own current level that they have reached. Then we could move to their own strengths points, which considers one of the most important things that we need to do even before the weaknesses, so that we could know our own added value comparing to them at the same time. After mentioning the strengths, we going directly to the weakness points. Focus on them. Try to gain the people feedbacks. Uh, going Getting closer to real users of those products in order to solve those weaknesses points in your own app or even your own products, and try to stay far away about the obstacles and about the problems that they have been facing with users. Okay, and finally, I always find it important and even essential to do something related to develop to revolutionary updates or even the PDLC of each one of the competitors of your own product. For example, how did they start? How did they get it improved? And where are they in the meantime? Which means that we need to be focusing on three main points in the PDLC stage. The first one is how did your own competitors started? The second one, how did they get it improved? And the third one, how where are where have they reached in the meantime? This is a great thing to measure uh, how fast or how special your own competitors have been going on, uh, starting from their own zero step until they have gotten improved and reaching to their own current level and added value that they have gained in the market. Okay, okay. Right now, we have successfully finished the first part of the UX analysis, and we are going to keep the last one for the last stage after finishing the UI stages. Okay? Right now, we are going to head directly to the fourth stage, UP and US building, user persona and user story building. Okay, I'm going to ask you some questions. In this stage, what are the techniques that we are going to use, and who are the people that we are going to be meeting and getting closer to. Okay, great. Targeted users, real people. Okay, this is great. As we have mentioned before in the UX research stage, uh, what are the techniques that we could depend on to reach those people? As we have mentioned in the UX research before, I've just been talking about them in the UX research stage. Create interviews. This is the first one. We have gotten the first one. Okay, great. Social media, websites, family members, colleagues, depending on the technique. Okay, okay, focusing group. Great. This is great. Okay. He has successfully answered the question with great answers. Uh, as we have mentioned before, we have so many techniques that we could use to reach people and to collect and gain the information that we are needing. The most common one is the forms and the questionnaires. Either they are printed with paper or even sent virtually, electronic forms such as Google Forms, such as Airtable, MailChimp, and Jet Forms, or paper forms. This is one of the most common techniques that we are using reaching people. The second one is the interviews with their own different types. They are directed, non-directed, and ethnographic interviews. Uh, Moving to the third thing, which is related also to the interviews, the ethnographic interviews is focusing on uh, doing some uh, close interview with the people you are focusing on meeting them, such as focus groups. So you could link focus groups to the ethnographic interviews, which means that you do some uh, a group meeting with people or even with single person, uh, discuss about some point, discuss about some topic related to your own project or product. But at the same time, this should be affecting this interviewee life directly, which means that you are going to be listening to this one who you are interviewing and giving them the chance to talk freely about their own experience that is related to your own um, idea, product, or the project that you're working on right now. Uh, we have so many important information that we need to be focusing on when once we try to build a user story or even a persona. Uh, the first thing is to be focusing on the demographic uh, information, demographics, such as age, such as sex, such as career, such as the background of the level of study and the background. Uh, Such information, the social status also. These demographics are always helping us to understand how do they uh, how do people really think and why do they think this way, you know. This is one of the most important things that we need to be to having in our own user persona template. The second one is related to the goals users goals, which means that we need to discuss and gain um, the things that people we are interviewing are aiming for, the goals and the objectives, then their own needs, the thing that they really need to be exist to solve this problem that we have been talking about and discussing, and also mentioning the pain points would be really great to be focusing on the added value that you're going to be introducing to them, and compare in the later stages, did you really solve their own pain points and giving them the best, as we say, medicine that could really cure them and help them, for example, reach their own needs and break and kill their own pain points, achieving their own objectives and goals. Okay, then we could attach at the same time to the user persona, as you see, template, something related to the brands that they are using and they are related to your own ID, such as the social media that they are using, maybe the companies such as brands that they are wearing or using to buy products via those brands. For example, which type of contacting people they are using. Okay, depending on your own product idea, depending on your own product field, you are going to attach some related brands and trademarks that are related to the field of your own idea or product. The final thing is that we need to do is to attach the user story directly after the user persona, or even in the same template as we have been seeing recently. Okay, right now, I'm going to ask you some questions. I have just remembered it. User story, you are always hearing about user story. Do you know what is the main structure of the user story, or how do we build a user story? We see it as a quote or as a sentence, okay? A group of sentences or a quote we have gained from some interviewee. But what is the main structure of the user story? Okay, waiting for your own answers over here. Giving you a timer. Okay, going to count them. 1, okay, Karen has just answered. User in the situation where the solution is needed. Okay, Karen, it's something like that. Okay, it's something like that. The main structure of user story is, for me as a user, I need to be having some feature in order to do some action so I could gain some outcome that could really solve one of my problems or help me reach one of my goals. Okay, once again, the main structure of the user story is, for me as a user, I need to have some product to perform some action so that I could get some results which could help me reach one of my own goals or solve one of my own problems. This is the main structure of the user story. And this is why the user story is really important, because the user story is a short for the whole information that we have collected in the user persona stage at the beginning. Then we just focus on some one added value that this interviewee or this person really needs, so they could really do some action related to their own app using process in order to reach some goal via this app or product, uh, or solve some problem that is related to the field that you have been talking and discussing about this product. Okay, right now we are going to head directly to the fifth stage, which calls mind mapping. After focusing on people, after focusing on stakeholders, we are going to be focusing on the app or the product that we need to do. The building process right now has started. The main structure, the imagination, the flows, the sections, the features needing to be implemented on the real. Okay, so mind mapping. One of the most important stages that we are using to hit or to get closer to the user flow creating. In the mind mapping, we are going to be focusing on the problems that people are facing and the current time. Also, we are going to be focusing on the competitors' uh, workflows inside their own apps, the problems that are coming from their own issues and their own weaknesses, in addition to going deeper and deeper in the competitors' user flows and try to do analysis to analyze them and create some clear workflow for those competitors. This is just a short stage uh, to get closer and to get more familiar on how could we really create our own user flow. The sixth stage is the user flow design. Okay, the user flow design. Um, ask you just a fast question. What do you know about user flow design? Or is it really necessary to build a user flow design or to build an information architecture as the last stage? Is it really important to design a user flow? Share us your own opinions over here. Okay, great. Okay. Okay. Great answers. Mm-hmm. Michelle, okay, Karen, Monica, Bina, okay, Jericho, and okay, Snisha, great. Okay, thank you so much for all of your answers. You've also answered the question uh, and your best. Okay, the user flow as the routes and the road or the flow that a user go on starting from the moment that he download the app or the product till he passes the stages of the app or the website you have created until they reach their own goal, in addition to the other parts that are combined and connected to each other and to the goal of this user, which means the user flow is a map that explains each single step of each user, starting from opening the app or the website, moving to the whole parts and sections of the app or the website, reaching to the final part, to the final stage of the stages that the app or the website containing. The thing that could really help us understand how many screens are going to be having, how many features are going to be having. So how many buttons, how many, for example, fields and stream fields and red roots are we going to be having in the next stage? For example, how could we really build the main um, screen at its best to contain all the stages that are contained and linked to each other at the same time. And the user need them at the same time to be in front of them, in front of him or her once they open the app or the website. You have successfully answered this and mentioned this in your own answers. So, as we have said, the user flow is a map that is designed uh, in general, the general steps that a normal user could be following to reach some goal in your own app. Each single app screen or each single main screen or sub screen is contained in the user flow. We see each single screen have so many features or have so many buttons and sections. How could we really be expressing those sections? Or is it really necessary to add it to the user flow? Definitely no. We could use them in the information architecture building. So the user flow is being used to the normal or the general screens, the general sections, and the subscreens and the subsections, but the tiny details, the buttons, the sections, for example, the interactions, uh, the call to action buttons, each single small element is being added to the final stage, which is IA building, information architecture building. And in this stage, we are going to go deeper and deeper in the map that we have created before in the user flow design stage, which means um, we have created the main screens and the main sections and the user flow. Then we are going to start creating something that calls red roots. The red roots means the single element with detailed details and sections. Okay, for example, I have the main screen. I have a bottom bar with 4 sections. Okay, this is what the user flow is telling us about. But the information architecture is about I have the main screen with 4 sections in the bottom bar. The first one contains 10 subsections. Each subsection of those 10 contains another 5 subsections. Each one of those 5 is linked to the third part of the 10 sections that we have been focusing on the first um, option or feature in the main screen that contains 4 main points or 4 main features in the bottom bar. You know how big is it? Something big, such as some tiny paragraph and a novel, for example. You got it. Okay, this is how we go deeper and deeper in the IA building. So after creating the IA information architecture, the map, you are going to be having whole these sections of the app or the product that you're working on, either it's an app or a software or a website. You are going to be easy. It's going to be much easier for you to start imagining the next stage, which calls UI, which starts with sketches, moves to the wireframes, then to the UI, then the prototype, interaction design, and finally doing the heuristic analysis, as we have mentioned before. This is why we are always focusing on creating a clear information architecture, which is going to help us really imagining our own app or website. In addition to it's an important link and common stage between us and between the programmers at the same time. Once we reach the handoff stage, we are going to deliver the IA in addition to the user flow and the UI screens to the developers or the development teams that we are going to be working with. So this is why we are focusing on the details at this stage, which calls information architecture building. Um, I have successfully reached the final part of my own presentation. I hope that you have enjoyed these stages and this workflow. I hope that you have successfully gained some new experiences, some new point of view, clear workflow that we are using. Uh, for me myself, I'm always advising my own students and even the students who I mentor Springboard to use this workflow, which considers really easy to use and deep at the same time. So right now, we are going, I think, Rashika, we are going to move to the questions part right now.
Hi, I'm back. Thank you so much for this amazing presentation. I think in uh, just one single go, you've covered each and every stages of the entire UX journey, and we have some interesting questions lined up. So I think let's take go ahead with it. Hello.
Okay, so
Yeah.
okay, is it questions time right now?
Sorry. No, we have 15-20 minutes more.
Okay.
Cool. Okay. Can you see the Q&A section behind? I'll also read along with you, but you can also give it a look.
Okay, okay,
It's
we
a
have one.
We have one. It's around how did you start your career in the design industry? I just started the UX UI design journey, so any tips would be appreciated.
Okay, okay, I see that people are asking questions over here, Rashika. I did not get you very well. So could you just repeat
Yeah, sure, definitely. So the question is from Michael. I'm not sure. Right. He or she just want to understand how did you start your career in the design industry? I have just started the UX UI design industry, so any tips would be appreciated.
Okay, great. Okay. Um, Actually, Michelle, I have started my own UX career. First step, okay, maybe 8 years ago. Yes, 8 years ago, 2014. I'm a self-taught person. Uh, I was at school by 2014, 15 years old, by the way. But I have passion in the technology and creating something new. I was always trying to test new apps and new ideas until someday I decided to create my own app. So I head directly to Google and Googled how to build or to create your own app. And starting from that moment till now, I'm always learning by myself. I have started from scratch by myself. I've had no course, I've never had no course. I've never joined a university also, and even right now, I'm not. I did not join any university, and I have also never taken any course. I've been always depending on reading books, reading articles, meeting people experienced in the field, try to asking them questions that are related to the field and specialize in the field itself, uh, trying to understand the field itself more than just applying some ideas or reality using some tools such as Figma or XD. Focusing on the concept itself is the most
Right.
important to do at the beginning.
Not going in the ongoing war after Figma being acquired by Adobe.
No.
Okay,
Wow.
right. So how the next one is, how is lean UX being applied in real projects?
Okay. Actually, before even we ask about the lean UX itself, we should ask ours. We should ask an important question: which type of the management frameworks is suitable for the current project? For
Right,
example, it could be waterfall, it could be lean UX, it could be
agile.
agile, it could be Scrum.
Right,
The first thing that we need to do is always to know what is the most suitable framework for our current environment, depending on the current status and the current information that we are having and we are seeing in front of us. Then you could decide which one is really uh, valuable for you and head directly for this framework to use. It's not a lean UX matter, but it's a matter of which type to use. Do not get stuck to one framework. No, feel free to move between all the frameworks. You could even use more than one framework at the same time. For example, some stages needs us to do a waterfall framework, and some stages need us to do the Scrum. Simply,
right. Okay, how how can these UX stages be applied to physical products?
okay, this is totally easy. As I told you, uh, the physical products and the software products have the same production cycle. For me, as Hazem, I have mentored civil engineers, architecture engineers, and guess what? Furniture engineers,
Right.
people who are producing furniture
Mm,
and doing product design for the furniture side. Once I have given them this flow and roadmap to be working on, they have told me that it's totally as same as our own workflow that we are using in the furniture production, you know. But the only one different stage is the last one,
right.
starting from the mind mapping to the user flow, moving to the information architecture. They do not use these three stages because they are um, connected directly to the technical or the software side. But starting from the ideation, brainstorming, moving to the UX research, moving to the UX analysis, moving to the US and UAP building stage, uh, those stages are being done in the physical products production cycle. So this is how they are implemented. In addition to each field last section or last stage. For example, the last three stages, which are the user flow, the information architecture and the mind map could be taken instead of, uh, for example, creating some MVP before even designing the final one. Just imagining doing
Hmm.
some fabrics, preparing the fabrics, preparing the facilities, preparing the environment of the product that we are going to produce physically, instead of creating the user flow and the architecture.
Okay. Okay, there is one in the chat section which talks about how to fight the imposter syndrome in UX design.
Okay. Excuse me, I did not just get it very well. Which question is this?
It's in the chat section. How to fight the imposter syndrome in UX design.
Okay. How design thinking come into place in the UX stages?
No, not this one. In the chat section, if you'll see by Bina, there's one question which talks about how to fight the imposter syndrome in UX design.
Okay. Yeah. This is one of the most common problems that designers, even the seniors, are facing.
Right.
And you cannot imagine. Um, I'm still not in the meantime. Um, Maybe 1 month or 2 months ago, I've been facing this. I've been always facing this, but I recently read something really important about this. One of the most important steps that you need to do in such case is try to be focusing on giving yourself a chance to know who you are really. Try to trust yourself more and more. Try to be closer to yourself. Do not be totally aggressive. Do not be too aggressive. Try to understand yourself. Try to be more familiar uh, with your own, as we say, power, with your own passion, with each special thing that you could really give. And do not try to underestimate yourself anyway.
Hmm.
Just try to trust yourself and give it a chance. You really deserve the chance. And always remember, if you need the others to love you and to know who you are, start loving yourself and spread the love with people who are surrounding you. If you did not do this, and um, stay stuck in the imposter syndrome, if you lost this trust in yourself, you will also lose the others' trust. You will also lose the others' appreciation. So try always to trust yourself. Try always to empower yourself and get out of this black hole.
Okay. It's from Michelle again. She said, "Thank you very much." One last question: how does one get verified by Google?
Okay, this is great. Simply, once you have a verified business, you could directly go to Google and verify your own business, and supply them with your own information, and you could be verified successfully from them. If you have a verified personality, if you have a verified
Mm.
business, verified services, you could do this easily.
I hope she is. Yeah, cool. Okay. Please suggest some online platforms to learn UI UX on my own. We've al- we've already completed.
This one. Okay, this one. As we say, Kabyle. Yes.
Monica, if you have not understood, he's talking about ProApp. That's there, and then there are definitely great mentors like Hazem we have there. ADP list also some great free mentorship sessions, and there are many other YouTube channels. We have Figma, we have I think I love Flux Academy also. They also produce some great content. So yeah, those are there. But thank you so much. I really liked your
Yeah.
cabinet.
And by the way, everybody, uh, for me myself, I'm advising you to be self-taught at the beginning, or depend on some courses with experts such as over here, such as me, or ProApp, trusted place such as ProApp, such as Springboard. Also, we are offering free courses
Right.
uh, in so many fields. Depend on experts such as me, book some sessions, try to ask us some questions that could really help you. That's it.
So Springboard does like it holds like conducts boot camps, UI UX design boot camps, I believe.
They are offering boot camps, but at the same time, we
Mm-hmm.
offer small and, as we say, compact version of the big boot camp for free
Right.
for so many people.
I'll just paste it. Okay. Cool. Okay. What is the best and worst part uh, being a UX designer?
Best on bar. Okay, actually, for me myself, I do not find there. I find no worst part. I love this field. For me myself, as we say, um, there is some song that says, "Hey, I'm on vacation every single day because I love my occupation." This is this is what yeah,
Is
this
it
is what actually happens with me. I adore my field, especially because I'm a self-taught and I'm learning it since I've been a child. So I adore it. I find nothing bad about it. And the best thing is you always discover new things, and even the best thing that you yourself could build something related to you, your special touch.
right? Or is it sometimes do you feel like you have to add like too much empathy? That would be the worst part of UX of your occupation. Okay. How does design thinking come into place in the UX stages?
Okay. Um, do not get stuck in the as we say, the names of the frameworks. Design thinking is just a workflow. Okay,
Right.
you are free to use it or not. This workflow is created by me myself. Okay, and I'm sure that it's totally this is 50%. The workflow that you have received today is just 50% of my own workflow, which is related to the UX part. I'm sure that it contains so many things much deeper and much better than design thinking workflow. Simply, it's not about names, but it's about how do you really um, follow the right steps and get to the right results. It's not about the name of the workflow or the flow itself or the technique itself. So
Right.
depends on the stages that could really get you perfect results at a perfect time. Okay, rather than depending on the name of this stage.
Okay. How does one start freelancing on any particular platform?
Okay, actually, there's no particular platform, but the most important thing that you need to know about freelancing is freelancing is just some station to gain experiences, uh, to know more people, to get connected to new people, to get connected to some tiny effective chances, but it's not a lifestyle at
Right.
all. It's just uh, some station that we are forcing ourselves to pass this station or to get into this station because of the environment or the place that we are living in. After we gain the enough experience, after we just reach some perfect level, we could leave the freelancing and move to the e-work, which means some sustainable job, a either part-time contract or even a full-time job. And this is what are we seeking for. How to start with the freelancing? You could start with social media platforms, or you could head directly to the platforms such as Upwork, Freelancer, People Per Hour. But for me myself, I find that Upwork is the best platform ever. About the social media networks, you could use LinkedIn, Facebook, for example, or Twitter. For me myself, I'm using both LinkedIn and Facebook. I stopped using Upwork maybe 2 years ago. Maybe I did not use it at all. So either social media platforms or freelancing platforms such as Upwork. Focus on LinkedIn and Upwork. These two ones, LinkedIn and
Right.
Upwork.
And then there's also, I think, Fiverr is also there, right? Which is currently, uh, I don't know. Sometimes if we need any help, we turn out to Fiverr also. Maybe in terms of some, quick
Yes,
graphics
yes,
or
for
something.
sure. But right now, Upwork has added some section
Right.
inside it,
Right.
which is specialized in selling services. So
Hmm.
Upwork is offering everything to the same place.
Right. Right.
That's what I always why I always advise people to go directly to Upwork.
Good. It's definitely a. I think entire. I don't know. It's some a very off-topic conversation that I'm having, but I was going through one post on LinkedIn, and people were, they were talking about how, how Upwork has always helped the community. I think that's something which helped it grow at much faster pace than its competitors. So it's always being very community oriented, the entire product, and how they have built the product. So, yeah, that's it. Cool. Okay, one last question: how can one get a mentor in his or her UX UI journey? Just talk to
Okay, how can one get a mentor? And as okay, easily. Once again,
them.
uh, once again for me myself. I'm gonna do it for me myself. Here,
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
Okay. You could easily reach me or any other mentor via so many platforms. If you want to know the maximum number of free platforms that are offering free mentorship services, head directly to my own LinkedIn profile, and you're going to find so many platforms and so many resources in the field of the UX, UI, product design, growth hack, product-led growth, product analytics, and so on.
Right. Okay, I think we were about to end, but we'll take this just one question. Does searching for marketing tools include as one of the responsibility of UX designers?
Definitely no. You
Hmm.
actually you have answered yourself. It's marketing tools, okay? We are not. They are not related to us even. Marketing tools are totally different about our own. Maybe no, no. Uh, but first of all, just give me a second. Do you mean that your company is asking you to look for some marketing tools as one of your own responsibilities? No, it's not. It's not your own. It's not your own responsibility. You are
Right.
just responsible about the UX process and the other processes that are connected to it. For example, such as development, for example, such as marketing, as a help, not as one for your own responsibilities.
Right. Unless you are the only designer and you have just started working in a startup who got registered 2 months back, then that could have been the case.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we're done with all the questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Hazem, for joining us today. And I really liked your, in between funny gestures and everything. I thought when you started, I thought it's going to be a really, really serious session. But towards the end, I was like, okay, I was thinking it wrong. But thank you so much for this such an insightful session and helping each and everyone, in their journey to grow wherever they are. Thank you so much for doing this for us.
You're welcome. Thank you so much also for attending this event today. Thank you so much, people, for asking questions, for interacting with us. And I was really pleased to meet you all today. The great people who have attended over here today, and you, Rashika. It was totally glad to meet you
Bye.
and the team. Uh, I was totally glad to meet you and the great team who are working in the background. And I was totally glad to meet you all and to get cooperated with you. And I hope that we could have another event talking about a deeper and deeper um, point of view or discussion or some topic that is related to the UX design, the UI design, the product design, or even we could chill together and make some party celebrating our own great
Definitely,
achievements
yes. Definitely,
together.
yes. I think it was supposed to be a surprise, but I'll just give you a small secret. We're also coming up, with the new modules and complete app redesign soon. It's in the beta mode right now. And there we'll also have a, mentorship, mentorship module. And we are more than excited to collaborate on that front. A team will reach
Mhm.
out to you. So I think uh, that's where we're gonna make this community more stronger. And yeah, thanks a lot, Azul. Have a great weekend.
You're welcome, and I'm going to be looking, and I'm looking forward to watch the record with your special touches on YouTube, and even to share it with the maximum number of people, to share the knowledge and to spread the word as one of our responsibilities.
Definitely, yes. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Okay, bye bye, everybody.